Namaste and good morning and welcome again to this unique class and continuity of course on our Indian dance traditions, Indian history of dance and all that has happened in the world. Today, dear students, we are going to take up Kathak and Kathak's history and how Kathak has progressed down the centuries. Okay? Kathak, as we all know, is a very ancient art form. Kathak is a classical dance form which represents central, north and western India. The main centers being Jaipur and Lucknow. Others have added and created new branches, but the main river remains like Ganges. All other are tributaries. Ganges or Ganga is about ancient India, where dance was considered not only a visual feat or intoxicated energy and a form of entertainment, but also to represent activity of gods called Leelas. Indian dancers identified the glory of God with infinite beauty, and the way it was expressed, it became part of devotion. Since Hinduism is not strictly a religion but a philosophy, a way of life, many additions and diversities became inherent part of it. Temple became important place for performance. The existence of a Natya Mandapa in many temples shows that dance was an integral part of temple activity. Brahmins could sing or be allowed to perform dance, and they taught not necessarily only Brahmins but other dancers class called Kathaks. The Kathak male or Kathika female denotes one who tells the stories. Custodian of these were in South India also, like in form of Kudiyattam, Chakyar Kooth by the Chakyars. The coming of invaders who settled in India brought many trends and traditions, especially in courts. Instead of a clash, a synthesis of two cultures took place. It changed thereafter. The Kathak completely took charge, responsibility of serving the deity in temple. Accordingly, their services were sought after by Nawabs and Zamindars, as these Kathaks knew scriptures and traditions of Mahabharata and Ramayana by heart and could recite the regal audiences. Thus, Kathak found place in courts of Nawab of Awadh, modern Lucknow, and most reputed one to come to such a court was Prakashji, who came during the reign of Nawab Asaf-ud-Daula. His grandson was the illustrious Bindadin, who was in court of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. After demise of Maharaja Bindadin in 1918, the tradition was continued by his sons Achan, Lachu and Shambhu Maharaj, as also his devoted pupil from Jaipur, Pandit Jailal, and his brother Pandit Sundar Prasad. At about the same time, in faraway Pune, Madam Menka, wife of scientist Colonel Sokhi, was also propagating Kathak, and in Calcutta, Sadhana Bose. The court of Raigarh too popularized Kathak. Benares got fresh lease of life when Nepal-born Sukhdev Prasad, father of Sitara, Tara, Alokananda settled there and infused Islamized court Kathak of Lucknow with Hindu bhajans and Tandava pieces. Thus we see, early on, there were no real Gharanas. It was one Ganga that ran through many regions and states. Gharanas came about with specific need to promote each form or style in order to access patronage, desire attention from masters and get approval of classes. If we accept Lucknow to be fountainhead and Jaipur too, it is interesting to learn many gurus of Jaipur also trained with Lucknow and vice versa. They took the best from each other, and then the issue was not about Gharana, it was about art. Sitara Devi, stating in 1978 seminar on Gharanas, Mohan Khokar dance collection, is on record saying there were no Gharanas originally. Each guru added his own. Students made much of it. For example, my father, Pandit Sukhdev Prasad, felt Kathak had become Darbari dance, court Nautch, and so infused it with Hindu elements by way of Kali Nritya and Shiv Tandav's compositions. At the same seminar held at Kathak Kendra in March of 1978, when Mohan Khokar was secretary of Sangeet Natak Academy, Lachu Maharaj said, "I am in favor of abolishing the Gharanas." Pandit Gauri Shankar felt stalwarts of both main Gharanas, Shambhu Maharaj and Sundar Prasad, represented certain characteristics, and these need not be divisive. He narrated various seminars before that which took place to discuss Gharanas, 1967 at Bombay, 1969 at Jaipur. He said earlier people were ashamed of calling themselves followers of a particular Gharanas, and today the Gharanas are being paraded proudly. Mohan Rao Kalyanpurkar said his own guru Sundar Prasad had learnt from both Jaipur and Lucknow Gharana. He said his guru never spoke a word against any and taught him pieces culled from Janaki Prasad and Sukhdev Maharaj too. He added, the same was that with Machar Maharaj. All are on record, though later years history got distorted by corrupt power centers in Delhi patronage systems, and please all babus and officers of Kathak Kendra and forces in Delhi as evident from historical data in the Mohan Kokar dance collection. It is natural human progression. When hungry one will eat, any food is available. When comfortable, one gets choosy or selective. This is also case with Gharanas. When India was not independent and under colonial rule, it was more important to come together and save an art form that was on decline. Once good times came after independence, a young India settled down, many demands for exclusivity came about. For example, although there is no copyright in chakkars or todes, some poet and Gharana heads inserted their names in the composition for immortality. Yet others created artificial boundaries that this Shiv Tandava piece is Benares property and this Ras is Braj property, whereas same Ras was performed and encouraged by the Mughal rulers of Lucknow like Wajid Ali Shah. Overzealous students were creating camps and boundaries to show supremacy. As most gurus were not formally educated or much travelled in those days, their egos could easily be pricked or affected, and unscrupulous elements in government patronage systems and controls also made these further divisions. First generation of star dancers like Madam Menaka, Sadhana Bose, Damayanti Joshi, Maya Rao owed allegiance to both schools of Gharanas or none. They danced Kathak, period. It was not bound by a Gharana. They did not state or project one style over the other. It was the next generation, post-independent India, that started the slow colouring of clear waters. They wished to control their gurus, their patronage, their fiefdoms, so they could start criticizing and putting each other down. What does Jaipur know of Abhinaya? They would look only footwork. And Jaipur students might sometimes say, what does Lucknow is all namby-pamby and effeminate dance? Where is masculinity? So small things led to this putting down of different Gharanas by each other. Gharanas had no real base except stylistic structure, and grammar was same, Kathak. Content and scope was same, Kathak outreach. Teaching and trending was same, individual to individual and then group classes. The body stood the same erect way, hastas were minimal and lot of license to talk on stage because it was the art of Kathavachak. The original art form remained. Thus Gharanas till post-independence made little or no sense. All first generation teachers and gurus, shishyas and staff are on record and have reported in important seminar papers in the Mohan Kokar dance collection. One good example is the Sangeet Natak Academy's 1958 seminar, in which Mohan Rao Kalyanpurkar read and wrote a paper on this subject. He wrote at length on the structure of the form. He also analyzed Kathak with fellow traveller and philosopher S.K. Saxena. Gharanas today have become battlegrounds. In 1970s, this trend started in Delhi, basically due to coming up of National Teaching Institute, the Kathak Kendra. In the beginning, both Jaipur and Lucknow had equal representation. Slowly, leading lights of Jaipur like Narayan Prasad, Kundalal Gangani, then stars like Devi and Durgalal died. Thus, a vacuum was created wherein Lucknow filled much. The larger-than-life personality of genius and complete artists like Birju Maharaj there also did not help the cause of other Gharanas, and soon Lucknow came to Delhi. Then there was hardly anyone left in Lucknow. It was only in 1990s that Arjun Mishra was sent there and he established Lucknow Gharana in a big way. He has trained his daughters Smriti and Kantika, and his son Anuj is now a star dancer. Jaipur's fortunes have been fluctuating post-independence, even if it is geographically closer to Delhi. Almost all senior gurus came to Delhi to work and teach at Bharatiya Kala Kendra, which hosted all Kathakars of the period from 1940s to 60s until SNA created its own Kathak Kendra, which originally was being run at Bharatiya Kala Kendra itself. Today, Gharanas have no base as each city boasts its own. Pune Gharana, Baroda Gharana, even Bangalore Gharana. Anywhere a guru goes and stays, it is cause for Gharana. Maya Rao learnt in Delhi, then came to Bangalore to teach many. Sohanlal went to Bangalore from Baroda. Sundarlal Gangani came from Meerut to Baroda. Kundanlal Gangani went from Bombay to Baroda to Delhi. The three main Gharanas or schools of Kathak named according to geographical area in which they developed significantly are in the Jaipur, Lucknow and Banaras Gharana. Each has a slight difference in interpretation and repertoire. Lucknow Gharana came into being in Nawab Wajid Ali Shah's court 1847 to 1856 was his reign. In early 19th century, it has more of Muslim influence and is famous for its bhava expression and nazakat elegance. The fast spins using the foot is of shorter duration compared to other schools. The hallmark of this style are artistically composed dance compositions, soulful music compositions like thumris, dadaras, horis, chaiti, along with the abhinaya and creative improvisations. The costume is chudidar, a kameez that flares out during the spinning, and a dupatta that covers the head, shoulders and the torso. Kalka Bindadin was the architect of the present form, also known as Kalka Bindadin Gharana. Thakur Prasad of the Lucknow Gharana was the court dancer of Wajid Ali Shah, who was himself a dancer, musician and poet. Thakur Prasad's two sons, Bindadin and Kalka Prasad, were also court dancers and credited with creating the expressional form of Kathak. They continued their scholar father's great work under the patronage of the Nawab, and their compositions were many. The sons of Kalka Prasad were Achan, Shambhu and Lachu Maharaj, who continued their father's tradition. Biju Maharaj is the son of Achan Maharaj. Nothing is historically known about the elementary form of Kathak, though traditions connected to a dance style which was known as Braj Bhumi Ka Nritya. It was performed in the temples of Ayodhya on the occasion of Ram Navami and Jhula celebrations by the Kathaks, who rendered stuti with dance accompaniment. They associated themselves with Awadh court and developed their style on classical lines. Thakur Prasad's innovations are not on record. However, it is held by one of his great-grandsons, Biju Maharaj, that his innovations were numerous. For example, the use of mridang is attributed to him. Number 2, he introduced those bowls, mnemonics of mridangam, which existed in the form of parmelu. Number 3, the use of bandish, rhythmical patterns, and parans, rhythmical phrases compatible with the bowls of a particular tala or theka, were also his contributions. These observations are in support of the view that Kathak till then existed in an elementary form. Traditionally, the Kathaks used dhol and not mridang as dance accompaniment. Kathak as a dance style was further codified by Kalka Bindadin team. It was Bindadin who enriched the lyrical side of Kathak by composing numerous thumri, dadra, ghazal and bhajans. He imparted both vitality and variety to this dance form. Bindadin is also credited with creating the expressional form of Kathak, which is technically known as Bhav Batana. Various aspects of Bhav Abhinaya were developed, such as Sabha Bhav, Anga Bhav, Artha Bhav, Nayan Bhav, Bol Bhav, Nritya Bhav, etc. Almost all the dancers of Lucknow specialized in Nayan Bhav, considered to be most difficult part of dance. Bindadin also encouraged the dramatic content of Kathak known as Natyang, which gave way to performance of Naika Bhed, the heroine types. all the angs and bhed of lasya were developed. Binda Din could dance in all tals and all forms of music, be it with Drupad, Thumri, Dadra and Ghazal. Thumri dancing was his special forte, and he developed the ang of Thumri in Kathak, which became extremely popular among the courtesans of Lucknow and Banaras. Kalka Prasad showed exceptional skill in the technique of pure dance. He was the master of Laikari. He developed a more elaborate form of whirling movements and pauses, which he brought from Ras and North Indian folk dances. Use of Gardish or Bhavari and such other difficult whirling movements in Kathak were his innovation. The two brothers thus pooled their talents to develop a mature and perfect dance style under the patronage of the king Wajid Ali Shah. Kathak developed as a chamber dance, Darbari Nritya, and absorbed some of the court etiquettes under Ahmad and Mujra. The costume was also designed in contemporary fashion. Kalka Binda Din trained numerous male and female dancers in Kathak. The Kathak thus did not remain exclusive to any dancing community. The great King Wajid Ali Shah, 1822 to 1887, the last Nawab of Awadh, is famous for his Rahas performances, wherein he blended Kathak and Ras. His choreography can be put under two categories. In the first category came 36 compositions which may be characterized as corresponding to ballet and were performed in a group. The dance contained a sustained theme depicted through various mudras and bhav. This could be regarded as an elaborate form of Kathak. Gath developed into a composite form of group dancing. It was danced by going about in circles and semicircles in consonance with original concept of ras and not in to and fro movement. His Rahasya Mujra was composite chamber dance. Bhand Nautch was influenced by Kathak, as most of the Bhands of the 19th century mastered the techniques of Kathak. To folk dance, Kaharwa Wajid Ali Shah imparted a near classical status. He choreographed 5 guts for this dance style, which were associated with the professional activities of the Kahar community. Thus, the period was not of decline. There was no dearth of artistic skill and talent. Patrons too were dynamic and encouraged experimentations, which resulted in the fashioning and strengthening of musical styles which are popular even today. Jaipur Gharana developed in the courts of the Kachwa kings of Jaipur in Rajasthan. It evolved from temple Kathak and is known for its Laikari, rhythmic excellence. Bhanuji, a Shiva devotee, learned the dance from the holy man and imparted his knowledge to his son Maluji. Grandsons Laluji and Kanhuji went to Vrindavan and became Krishna devotees. Kanhuji's grandson Girdhariji settled in Jaipur, and thus was born the Jaipur Gharana. In this style of Kathak, Gindaji combined the Tandava aspect of Shiva with the Lasya of Krishna. This school places more importance on the technical aspect of the dance with elaborate and complex footwork, multiple spins, complicated compositions in different talas, and a grand tarana. There is more emphasis on fluency, tayari, virality, and greater use of long, intricate rhythmic patterns. The dance is mainly composed on Parmelu bowls. There is a greater incorporation of compositions from the Pakhavaj, such as Parand. The costume is long skirt and blouse instead of the chudidar kameez, and dupatta covers the shoulders and torso. Some of the great dancers and gurus instrumental in developing the Gharana include Hanuman Prasad, Durga Prasad, Shyam Lal, Jai Lal, Devi Lal, Hari Prasad, Narayan Prasad, Sundar Prasad, Roshan Kumari, and Durga Lal. Current prominent artists of the Gharana are Rajendra Gangani, son of Guru Kundan Lal Gangani, Gitanjali Lal, wife of Sri Devi Lal, Prerna Shimali, and so on. The Banaras Gharana was an offshoot of Jaipur Gharana developed by Janaki Prasad, but its adherents settled in Varanasi and Lahore. Since the roots of the Banaras Gharana are ingrained deeply into the soil of the holy city of Banaras, the Kathak dancers following this Gharana dance for bhajans and kavit parans, which are based on God. It is characterized by the exclusive use of natwari or dance bowls, which are different from the tabla and the pakhavaj bowls. In natwari compositions, rhythmic syllables correspond to the sound created by the feet striking the ground. There is no Mughal influence in the Banaras Gharana because its dancers were never employed by Mughal courts. They worked for Hindu kings, and so you see a lot of bhajans, padas and thumris in it. It is said that Janaki Prasad picked up the syllables from Samadev. There are 12 natwari bowl compositions. There are differences in That and Tatkar, and chakras are kept at minimum but are often taken clockwise and anti-clockwise with equal confidence. There is also greater use of floor, for example, in taking of sum or first beat of the time cycle. The major difference between the branch of Kathak and two major Gharanas are that it stresses clarity of line in execution, even if this means sacrificing speed. For footwork, the Lucknow and Jaipur Gharana allow the use of percussion instruments, but here the dance syllables are only permitted. The three chief disciples of Janaki Prasad were Chunnilal, Ganeshilal and Dularam. Pandit Sukhdev Maharaj, father of Sitara Devi and maternal grandfather of Gopi Krishna, was a Sanskrit scholar and teacher of this Gharana. Some famous exponents of this style include Sitara Devi, Gopi Krishna, Jitendra Maharaj, Omkar Prasad, Kundan Lal, Naval Kishore, brothers Sohan Lal and Mohan Lal. Raigarh Gharana was established by King Chakradhar in princely state of Raigarh in present Chhattisgarh in the early 20th century. Bhupdev Singh, the king of Raigarh, was a great lover of art and literature. His son Chakradhar Singh was also well versed in art, music and literature. He revived Indian classical dance and music way back in the 1930s when World War II was going on and artists had lost patronage. While the people were braving the consequences of war, the royal palace of Raigarh were busy promoting the glorious tradition of art and literature. King Chakradhar Singh was a dramatist, poet, tabla artist and Kathak dancer. The Raigarh form of Kathak originated here. It is a combination of Jaipur and Lucknow forms of Kathak and was the creation of the king himself, who used to honor artists and donate village to help them and keep their art alive. Chakradhar Singh penned the voluminous Nartana Sarvasvam, a comprehensive documentation of emotions and movements of a dancer, a musician or any other artist apart from other masterpieces of Indian literature. This priceless work is still in the possession of the royal family. The Maharaj invited many luminaries of Kathak and percussion to his court. From both Jaipur, Jailal and Lucknow, Achan Maharaj, Shambhu Maharaj, Gharanas. He sought to create a new style synthesizing the speed of Jaipur Gharana with the delicate grace of the Lucknow Gharana, the Saatvik purity of Tandav, the grace of Lasya, the appeal of Bhava and robustness of folk dances. The confluence of different styles and artists created a unique environment for the development of new Kathak and Tabla compositions drawn from various backgrounds. Some of renowned dancers of this Gharana are Kartik Ram, Pirtu Maharaj, Kalyan Das Mahant, Pandit Barman Lal, Pandit Ram Lal, Yasmin Singh, Anuradha Singh, Alpana Vajpayee, Suchitra Halmalkar, Monica Pandey Bohre, Mohini Moghe, Bhagwan Das Manik, Bhupender Bharat, Vasanti Vaishnav, Annapurna Sharma and Vijay Sharma.